back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brother.
Coach, this city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. It's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here we go. 180. 54. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for first and 10. Working from the gun. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
He finds Beckham complete. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Let's go.
And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flush to his right, and he's going to keep it here. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the shotgun, Wilson. And Jennings has it. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency.
And he lost the football, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. The numbers for Sanders last week, 14 carries, 61 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Throwing now is Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll run it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Now Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it they're picking up the first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now a carry for Sanders. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check 50, check touch.
Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the 41, Wentz nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
A gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Throwing his Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. The third down run gets him nothing. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with the first. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, that's caught by Jennings. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down. Here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Let's go, D.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
To throw is Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, then we just run the clock down and go to the locker room.
So we now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They'll try and run forward with Penny, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want...
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Wilson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll go again with Sanders. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wentz. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. As Sanders has it poked free. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Do it.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear it. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake to Sanders, now here's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Another run here with Sanders. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to look deep down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On second down now, Swift. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
This throw complete, Wilson finding Lockett. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Wentz now on first down. It's caught by OBJ. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun. Wentz. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on down's the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. What a difference a week makes. 5 interceptions in their last game. Here we are, 4th quarter. He's played mistake-free football.
And I'm sure that we can look back on the past week and say, okay, he spent time in the film room and they worked on his mechanics. Sometimes it's just your team believing in you, your coaching staff believing in you, and you relax and play to your potential. He's doing that in this game.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 6th touchdown of the season. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
This pass complete, wins to Ertz. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. They go play action here on 1st down.
I think it all came together there.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really